I took all the towels out of the house. Do you guys do that? You guys that are full timers, you start calling your RV house home. Hey, it's back at the house. We got to get back home. We say that a lot. It's funny. I don't know when that happened. It just started happening. But I just said, hey, where's my towel? I need a bib because the way I eat, I'm so sloppy. And she goes, it's outside and it might be even dry. But there's no towels in the house now.
What have you been up to?
I've been riding on a daydream.
Hello, welcome to RVdaydream. And Arizona and the Arizona heat. I want to talk about something on Ford Super Duty trucks and I believe F-150s. If you guys don't know, it's well worth knowing in these kind of temperatures, or if you're in extreme climate up north too. So let's go talk about that. So my truck was running. It's not now. We'll go ahead and get it running again. Oh, I got to close this little window here. I don't like, with the cap having the history that it did with the window shattering on the old one. I don't want to be going down the road with that thing bouncing around. Look how much room we have back here. Much more room. There's no organization going on. Wait till we organize it. We'll show you what it looks like. I'm so glad we got rid of stuff. We've got to wash this. We're going to have to hose this off before we put it away. It's just brown. I don't know if you guys can see that. All right, back to what I was saying. As I'm coming into the truck here, you can hear the air conditioning. Hey, Hyde, I need that other phone. Okay. Wait a minute, I got it. Yeah, we have two phones. One's for the Waze app. So there are settings that if you have a remote start, or if you have the Ford Sync system that allows you to start your truck with your phone, the starting, what's default on the truck is it will try to get your truck to 70 degrees. Now, it won't turn the air conditioner on high. It won't put it on in hot temperature. It won't put it on recirculation. It won't do any of that. Or if it's cold out, it won't put it on super hot, fast heat, nothing like that. It will just kind of put it on a general setting to kind of get you to the temperature of 70 degrees. You can change that setting in the dash and make it to where it will start and run the climate control system on the last setting. Now, I know this is something that a lot of old cars, remember what you used to do in the winter? Well, I do. I mean, back with the old cars that used to have the knobs that you used to slide, you know, you'd slide them over to heat or defrost and turn the fan on high. Well, they always told you on those old cars that when you shut off your vehicle, make sure you turn off all your electronics inside so that in case one of them has a problem, which some of them did, it wouldn't drain the battery with some kind of a weird slow drain. But also it would allow for you to, when you go to crank your engine, that you didn't have all these accessories on that just would pull down your battery to a level that the engine would just go rrr, rrr, rrr if you had a bad battery. Well, I've always taught Heidi that, and my kids that too. Hey, I tell them, shut off all your accessories before you shut off your vehicle. However, there's an exception to that. When you live in Northeast Ohio, and that's the winter, you may want to go ahead and put it up on defroster if you have a remote start. That's the only way. Now, most of our vehicles, we didn't have a remote start. We had, just regular, get in the car and start it up. But if you have a remote start, you want to set all your stuff to defrost and heat and all that in the winter, so you can fire up your car from a distance and it makes it nice and warm inside. So when you get out there, the windshield's clearing off already and the car's warm. Well, the same goes true for down south, obviously, here, like in our case. But I never knew that they had that setting until just recently, to where I can now make it the last setting. So I turn my fan all the way on, I turn the max air on, you know, the recirculation, the whole thing, and then I'll shut the truck off. So when I use my remote start, everything's full power. Like I said, by default, it will try to cool the vehicle to 70, but it's not at the highest, most powerful setting. Same with the winter time. It'll try to warm it to 70, but it won't be at the best setting necessarily, in the highest fan setting. You can change that in your dash on these newer vehicles. I'm guessing from maybe 2015 up. I don't know for sure, but definitely 2017, 18, 19, and 20 on the Super Duties you should be able to, especially if you have a sync system of any kind. I don't know, maybe there's manual controls still that you could buy back then, but I didn't know of any. So yeah, I like that. This next clip I wanted to show you guys, you're going to look on the right hand side of the road where that bicyclist is, but the curb more than anything else, and you're going to see some rolling fruit. We didn't understand why the traffic was slowed down here, and of course we saw what the deal was. But check out this. Now I roll it forward, you'll see a couple of cantaloupes rolling down the road. There's like 3 of them, and this poor cop, he looks like that he decided to take it upon himself to go ahead and move all that stuff that got dumped on the road over to the side. But some of these things are rolling away. Now the next thing, somebody did help him, just let you know, the guy on the bike, and I think a car also. People make their money with that fruit on the roadside down here. That's a big thing. So somebody lost some revenue there. So I want you to check out the old guy that's standing at the street corner. He's getting ready to walk across the street here. I don't know if you can see close enough. I might have to zoom in a little bit, but he's got his cantaloupe. He's heading back to home. He's like, man, I got me some cantaloupe. I got it for free. I thought it was funny. You know, of course, he's an older dude, so I can't say anything. But yeah, he like, yep, I got's mine. I'll tell you one of the things that I'm going to miss while we're down here, and that is my shoes got soaking wet, and we had to clean or hand wash a towel, and anything else for that matter. You just hang it outside for, I don't know, 10 minutes, and it's completely dry.
I hung those shirts out, and it was like 15 minutes.
What a nice night. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at over here. There's a star over here. It's warm.
100?
It's 100. We're getting ready to do some work, though, because it is comfortable compared to earlier. We did not wash the awning. I feel bad about that. But I'm going to pull up my nails here that I put in the ground. These things held solid. I was happy. In fact, it held really solid. So what are we doing? Well, we're kind of just doing everything that we need to do. So tomorrow morning when we get up, it's quick and fast. Matter of fact, there is a part of me that is thinking maybe we can hook up the truck and back up the RV. Think maybe back here? Well, the slide, you know, we'd have to put in the slide though if we did that. Yeah.
But if you're putting the awning in tonight,
Yeah, we're putting it in the next 10 minutes.
I'm laying the wall down.
What?
Because then I'm gonna wake your butt up in the morning.
Oh yeah, we're leaving early. We got 5.5 hours drive. Somebody doing a burnout out there. Yeah, big one. So I was kidding. It was a little one wheelie peely. So yeah, we could we could back the RV up and leave a lot of the utilities hook up. Actually, we could disconnect the water, and I'd like to flush the black tank. But then again, I don't know. Does it really make a difference?
We can flush the black tank.
I mean, if we disconnected, you know, put some fresh water in, Nah, we need to do showers and stuff tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, by the time we take our showers, we'll probably
I would just rather tomorrow morning make it to where
Plus,
we get up and it's very little effort
'cause it's,
to...
by 11 o'clock, it's going to be 100.
No, we're out of here early. I'm talking like 8.
Okay.
That's, I don't even know if
When
like...
I get up at 6:30, it's like 80 some.
Right. Oh, here it comes. You get a lot of that. Sometimes those military helicopters come over. They're not Chinooks though, but the military flies over occasionally. So we're also going to, of course, put Heidi's bike away, strap it down, and my scooter. We'll put that away. And yeah. All right, I got to quit talking and start helping Heidi. She just enjoying herself.
Camera away and so we can
Do some work. Okay. All right, so it's funny how things look all of a sudden really full in no time at all, but believe it or not, there's a lot more space back there than we had, because we have, you know, the 2 scooters, both the bikes, which the bikes are always there, and you can see how much room the bikes take up. And then we have 3 totes in the front, and that's it. There's some other odds and ends. This little thing is, this is my go-to box. This is for hitching and unhitching. There's grease in here and cleaner and spray and stuff like that. Of course, all the wrenches we need to put in the wheel chocks and do our weight distribution bars. But back here, it's, yeah, like I said, I know it looks clunky, but it's pretty cleaned up. So good news is everything that's in here now is pretty much stuff we're keeping. Maybe a couple more things can go, but basically the one thing that we know is going for sure is the picnic table canopy, which is still an awesome, it's awesome to have, but I don't know, if it doesn't get in our way, maybe we'll keep it a little bit longer. Again, no, we haven't really used it. The bikes, of course, they're the ones that take up the most room, and they're kind of a pain with taking off the tires and everything. So we think that will be corrected, which I hinted to a little bit. We'll talk about that later. Of course, the wheel chocks and everything, they're normally in the wheels. They're just laying there. These go inside the RV. Another big area that's gotten cleaned up quite a bit. We got rid of how many totes altogether between this and the truck? 4. Yeah, 4 totes. So if you look here, we only have 2 totes in here, right? Yeah.
electrical and
The water fresher together.
and then
So
black.
right. So the black has its own tote, and then the electrical and the fresh, we're keeping those divided, but they're in the same tote. So that's nice. Yeah, I know you guys are probably thinking, oh, all that moisture with your electrical and that, really it's not a big issue. Definitely got more room, and we've taken off weight. That's the most important thing. So the other side is going to allow us to do something a little bit different than what we have done in the past. So you can see Heidi's got a towel down here, and that's for something else that normally goes in the back of the truck, and that's our water filter thing here. I know, again, it's real dark, sorry. Now the water softener, that does go in the back of the truck. I'm talking about the back seat of the truck. But that's a big deal for us. That's and we still got room. I mean, we still have room up here for you know, so a few things. Our sewer hose, I'm sorry, our electrical cord we can just throw in there. Our hoses in general, the filters that are back on the back, we can just toss them in here, and we don't really have to worry about putting them in a tote and taking them out. You know, that's something that we're constantly doing over and over again, dealing with going to a park or staying overnight somewhere. This is when our Level Mate Pro quit working. I got out the old trusty. Of course, we replace that. I think I'm going to put that filter thing up here. I think I'm going to see if I can make it work up here. I think I can. That way we can put everything else here. But again, just this tote and that tote there. And of course, those things there aren't very heavy. The one thing's a beach tent. The other ones are awning mat. And then the big 42-gallon water tote for when we're boondocking. So I'm looking forward tomorrow actually having an RV that's a little bit lighter and more room. We've got more room. We got more room in the RV. We got more room in the storage of the RV in the front. We have more room in the back of the truck. We have the same amount of room back here. Not much at all, but the water softener goes in a tote here. So yeah, we're in pretty good shape for having room and less weight. Good morning, YouTube, and welcome to moving day. Oh, it's a little windy. It's only 80, so it's really pleasant outside. You can see where we've been driving through. We've just been driving through this every time we want to come back. This was a nice park. It's very, very quiet, which doesn't make any sense because obviously you can see, you know, there's buildings here, and there's a busy road right out there, and you would think that the sound would reflect off these walls a little bit, that kind of stuff. The wind's very strong right now. Oh, if it was like this every day, we would have stayed here probably even longer. But this is just the prelude to, well, today's not too bad. It's 100 and something, going to be 100 and something today. Looks like this guy feeds these birds every day. I wondered why they were always hanging out here. I get it now. And I'm ready to go. I'm definitely ready to go. The RV's so dusty. And I was thinking about wiping down the slides before we put them in. If I can find I have like a California car duster. It's like a electromagnetic duster. I don't know if you guys ever seen them. I used to sell them back in the early 90s. Man, they were expensive, and I didn't understand why, but they do work. And thank God that the price has come down. But yeah, we got one of those in the truck. I might be able to use that on the RV and get some of the stuff knocked off of the slide, because obviously whatever the slide has on it, once it's inside the RV is going to have it inside there. It's pretty dusty. It's definitely pretty dusty here. Still not as dusty as Van Horn, Texas, that campground that we stayed at there. That was just like dust storms. Matter of fact, we had our awning out, and the wind was less than what it is right now. Obviously, hardly anything at all. And one of those dust devils came relatively close to our RV, and just the awning was all banging around, and we hurried up and rolled it in, and it didn't even roll in all the way because it was crooked. But still dusty here, more than you would like normally. On our way in the wind. It's kind of windy today. So far everything seems all right on the RV, but we've only gone maybe 6 miles. So looks like we're going to be there at about, it says 2:38. I say we're going to be there at about 3:45, maybe even 4.
In 3/4 of South Araby Road.
Getting close to the truck drivers, that's for sure. So yeah, we'll truck along here and see how everything goes back there. I'll check the tires and the temperatures a little bit later on the road. I got a clanging noise that I don't know what that is. It's kind of odd. I've never heard it before. But so far, Sunday morning traffic, not bad at all. So hopefully my estimation on time is incorrect. Now, if you guys don't know, the GPS, you can adjust the time for what you actually want to drive, maximum speed. So it's adjusting this time of me not going over 63 miles an hour.
In 1,000
That's so
feet,
funny.
use the left 2 lanes to turn left.
But it's
Turn
within a
left
half
at
an
the
hour.
traffic light.
It's within a half an hour. It's pretty accurate, even if I was doing the speed limit. So there should tell you something. If the speed's limit 70, 75, and
Turn
you only
left on
do
South
63, you only lose about 40 minutes at the most. So we had a little thing to eat in Gila. I guess it's called Gila, Arizona. Gila Bend? I don't know. It's where 85 kind of connects to 8. And there's a lot of truck stops there. Pilot, Loves, there's restaurants. And it's pretty easy to navigate through. It wasn't very busy. It is Sunday, but still. So now we're heading, I guess this would be north on 85. Yeah, this is 85. It's only 65 miles an hour, which, that's all right. Kind of casually driving. But there's some cool terrain out here. You know, we just never really pay attention to necessarily how states got formed or anything like that. For example, I mean, Ohio, a lot of the mountainous areas and the ravines and all that stuff was formed during the Ice Age, you know, the glacial push that caused it. That's why at some point, you know, you'll find a lot more mountainous areas than others. And even some of the state parks we visited, I think we talked about the glacial grooves, where you can see grooves where, you know, millions of years ago, the ice pushed, you know, like mountains over these rocks. So anyways, there's a coyote, a little dead coyote on the side of the road. So we are learning here that all this was ocean floor. And that's why it's so smooth and flat. And then every once in a while, you know, you see mountains. Obviously, all the water. Yeah. Well, we were at almost minus. Well, we were at probably a 50. I don't know. Were we? It's sea level. We were below sea level now. Now we're above that. We're definitely like 300 feet, but still.
That says 950.
Oh, 961.
Yeah.
Sorry. 961. Wasn't even reading it. So, I was going off here and I see 400. So it's just kind of cool to learn that, you know, like I said, it's not a big revelation if you just think about it. How else could all this ground be so flat and even for so long?
If you do bad things, you have to go over there to the prison.
All right, let me slow down, Heidi. Get you over there.
No, I'm not going there.
Heidi's doing bad things. Look over here. This prison's much bigger. That must be the women's over there. This must be the men's.
Holy shnikes.
There's lots of them. Look, they're growing prisoners out here. Wow. God, that's a lot.
Oh, that's what they get.
Yeah.
Doing bad stuff.
Oh, that guy broke down with his fifth wheel in front of the prison. Oh my God, no wonder Swift has such rough drivers. The prisoners just walk over and get a job. Oh my God, that's a big prison. I'll have to look that one up. I don't know what you do if you break loose. You better hope somebody on this road stops and picks you up. Because there ain't nothing out this way.
You're going to die from dehydration.
Yeah, that's how...
Quickly.
That's how Bobby... what was his name? What was his name? Boucher? No.
Bobby Boucher.
Bobby Boucher. That's it. That's how Bobby Boucher's
I
dad.
don't know. So this does look like a
landfill. Yeah. Landfill.
Be offing the prisoners with the water.
Not landfill from Beer Fest. Landfill. Oh yeah,
Yep,
Republic Services. There we go. So different kind of terrain than Texas, for sure. I mean, there's similarities, but it's kind of funny that initially.
Look at all that.
Oh,
somebody had a dream.
I wonder what that was. There's a bunch of little dog houses or something there. Yeah, landfill, it says right there. But this is a nice, comfortable drive. We did turn down the air so we could talk to you on the camera without it blasting. So we are getting a little bit warmer. I don't know what the temperature is. It's got to be 100.
90s, 100s.
Yeah. But it's different to see all this stuff.
It's 104.
104.
102, sorry.
Oh.
Still going to be 110 here today.
We ain't gonna be here long. We're getting into cooler weather. We're driving there.
I think the high is 91 where we're going today.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Show low.
So there's trash on the side of the road, obviously. They need to get those
But not as,
out here.
oh wow. I was
Yeah.
going to say not as much, but
But the
that back.
landfill's right there.
Yeah.
So you know it's blown away from the landfill. I wonder if they send people out from their landfill, once a month to do cleanup here.
prisoners. Be a good
Yeah,
job for
prisoners.
them.
But this is a pretty nice drive. I was a little bit more surprised by this terrain than I thought I would. So if you guys have never been out west, which we never had,
We've got nice smooth roads.
well, this
We did
section-
it, but
it's
they weren't
just,
terrible.
You're-
For the heat, I can't believe how good the roads are.
Right. But
See them buckled up and
as
stuff.
far as terrain, and just the overall look of the place, I don't think that I expected it to be so vast. I guess that's the best way. It's just amazing how you look off into the distance, and as long as there's not a mountain in the way, because it's so flat, you can just see how big the land is. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. I knew it was vast, but to see it firsthand, again, that's one of the main reasons we don't do the whole musical montage drive thing and show much of our drive, except what we're doing now, because you guys need to come out and experience this stuff if you haven't. It's just different. It's just really cool to look
Some
at.
healthy cactuses out here.
Yeah, look at those cactus. Some tall ones. I'll see if I got an 8-foot bed. Let's see if we can get one in there.
I already had to deal with the
Yeah.
cactus stuff this morning on the water hose. Little prickly little things got in my hand.
All right, we're gonna enjoy the ride with the air blasting and maybe the music blasting too. So we finally got into a little mountainous. We're at 2,700 feet, and we're going up to 4,400 feet. 216, 270 degrees on the transmission. And twisties. We got lots of little twisties here. It's kind of cool. It's really awesome terrain. And yeah, straight up. Yeah, straight up on the hill. Oh, my airbag just let out some air.
Sounds like there's a bird in here.
There's a bird in here.
That's what it sounds like.
Our toolbox back there squeaking. I'm in fourth gear at 3,500 RPM. And my ears are a-popping. But we're going up the hill fine. We're climbing speed. Let me go ahead and pop it into fifth, see what happens here. Yeah, we're holding. Now we're doing 50. They only let you do 55 because it's so curvy. How did they get over there?
I know. I was just thinking the same thing.
The traffic was on. There was a road to our left, and now it's on the right. Must be a tunnel or something. That's pretty cool.
Somehow they got over there.
Yeah, they got over there.
All these rocks. So cool.
Let's get up some speed. Get this last little hill.
We'll be climbing for a little minute.
Yeah. So anyways, it's definitely the terrain looks the same, but it's different. Like these boulders, where do they come from? How in the world? And they're some of them are round, but the mountains, the way that they're chiseled, it looks like that they fracture, like they're square. So how in the world? I don't get it. I don't get it. My trans temperatures jumped up to 223. Got the air on, and I don't know what's temperature.
Like 105.
Nice. But we are going up in the mountains. We're at 3,344 feet. We were just at like 1,100 to start with.
Pretty cool views.
Yeah, and the truck's doing fine. So, because there's no wind. I mean, obviously the hills are steep, but transmission temperature is 225. Everybody wants to always ask me about what's your trans temps like. I'm telling you, it's 225. It's the highest that I've seen. I think I've seen 227 one time. I'm at 3,200 RPMs at 55 miles an hour.
Look at that. How cool that is.
It is cool. We got a little downhill section here. We're 226 on the trans temperature. So a little downhill section, and then we start up another pretty good climb. And my ears have popped a few times. All right, so we'll give the vehicle a little bit of a break here and let it just cruise along. Nice leisurely pace. Get it all cooled off. We're still about 30 miles away from our destination, but man, does 90 degrees feel good. And it is a sight to very sore eyes that there's lots of cloud cover and the sun's not baking us. It is such a relief that I didn't realize comes with clouded skies. I'm sure I'm going to be complaining about cloudy skies and rain, again in the near future. So look forward to that. But man, this cloud cover is so nice. It's just so delightful. Man, the truck, we had the last little stretch of elevation. We got up to 70, I don't remember how many, 7,000 what?
500.
7,588 feet. So almost 7,600 feet. And we did it in a short amount of time. Man, the truck, we got to see it. Let me tell you, we put it up. The highest transmission temperature that I could get it to was 232. And that was like in third gear at 4,200 RPM for maybe a mile. Yeah, about a mile. We ran fourth gear quite a bit. So the truck does it fine. I mean, it does quite fine. There's nothing really weird about it. I think the slowest that we did any of those hills was 40. And it's not that we held 40, it's just we were at 40 and we might have had to speed up and go through the gears and get it up to around 55, closer to 60. And then we would, let it, give it a little bit of ease. Look at all these trees that are down.
No.
Is that all from fire? There's a bunch on this side too.
Yeah, I've seen that. I can't really tell.
Man, you can tell. We stopped off the side of the road, used the bathroom in the RV, and you can tell, man, it wouldn't take nothing for this stuff to start to burn. It is so dry and crunchy. All this stuff alongside of the road, dry and crunchy, let me tell you. So of course it says high fire risk area. But yeah, we're out in the middle of kind of nowhere in Arizona. So we went through a little town called Payson, I guess it was. It seemed kind of cool. We just drove through another little town. I don't know what that was. That was kind of cool too.
Yeah, they seemed like they were building up the last time we were at. I don't know what it was called.
Yeah. I like some of these little areas. I don't think that I would necessarily want to live out here, but it looks like they're just logging, and those are old trees. Look, there's lots of trees down.
Yeah, I don't
Those
know.
look like the rejects that are left behind, to tell you the truth.
Look like they've been down for a while.
Yeah, they look like rejects.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe something came through, or maybe a big storm come through. No way.
Look at the.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
It's not a path like a tornado or something.
Well, it looks like what loggers would leave behind.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it could have been years ago.
Yeah.
Look.
Man, it's weird. But it's nice to see big, tall trees that aren't palm trees or cactus.
Yeah.
So that's nice. All right, so another 24 miles. Looks like we're going to get there at 3:15. So we're a little quicker than what we initially thought, but we're not there yet. When we do, we will show you what it looks like, what the place looks like. So hang on. We made it to our next location. Seems like a nice park, and the best thing in the world happened. We finally seen rain for the first time in over a month. We finally seen rain. So we got to see the cloud cover, and now we get to see rain. And it's a storm that's coming through. The wind kicked up, and guess what I did? I hurried up and put the awning out so it got rinsed off. And I got so much water on it, it started to go into its dump cycle. I don't know if you guys know this, but a lot of these awnings have a dump, automatic rain dump on them. But yeah, this is kind of a nice park. There's an engine stand over there, Heidi. Yeah. Or not an engine stand, an engine hoist. You guys got an engine hoist over there. So there's a lot of permanent housing type deals here. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool.
Park, however, when we got here, all they did was drive around while we were trying to back in. It's ridiculous. Don't do that.
There's plenty. This is a big, like, allotment. So there's an entrance on each side of the road that's out here, and it's a loop. So it's basically a big loop that has, let me think how to say it. It's a big loop that has roads like this. There is no need for them to go down the road. And people seen us pulling in, and they hurried up, jumped in their car, and
On our way.
and pulled out in front of us as we were passing them. I don't get it. I don't get it. And then as we were backing in, yeah, like she said, they were in our way the whole time. Every time we started to back in again to get it lined up, because it's slightly tight here. It's not bad. Every time we did that, there was somebody else coming up the street. And the funny part is obviously they just wanted to sit and watch us back in.
Well, that's fine.
But I don't get it.
Don't get up so close that
I know.
we think that you need to drive by.
I know. Yeah, so
Meanwhile, I got myself pinched in between the back of the RV.
yeah, let me teach you guys something. When somebody's backing up a vehicle, I don't care if it's an RV or it's a pickup truck or it's a car in your driveway or whatever, you never stand between the vehicle that is backing and a solid object at all.
People think that they have to help.
Yeah, we don't need help.
Michael and I can back the RV up by ourselves
Yeah.
just fine.
Yeah, we don't need help.
We just don't need help.
And the funny part was he actually, the guy that was helping us, he seemed nice enough and everything, he brought us in the wrong way. He immediately said, oh, we need to go the other
I
way.
usually bring you, then.
So I had to go out and do a loop-de-loop through the neighborhood. So, and that's something else too. He hauls butt on the golf cart. So I'm taking my time because I don't want to go speeding down through these aisles. The speed limit's 15 miles an hour through here. And it is not a 15 mile per hour type place. They're parked on the road. They're right up against the thing. I mean, it
was just a little irritating, but though it's a very nice park.
Yeah, very, very nice. Very nice.
Literally, there was one couple that literally drove by 4 times while we were setting
up. I mean, and it don't take us that long to set up.
Get on your bicycle. Quit with the vehicles.
I don't know what the deal is. So what we're doing is we're waiting for the rain to subside. Our groceries are limited to cooking out on the grill type things.
I would have done it, but unfortunately I forgot to put the steaks in the refrigerator last night, so they're frozen solid.
We have 50 amp service. It seems weird. We have everything on though. We have the ice maker on, the refrigerator's on electric, the hot water tank is on electric, both air conditioners are on full blast.
What a difference 50 amps.
Yeah. Like I said, we've been operating for a month on 30 amp, and we've been getting by with it, but...
Yeah, we blew the breaker 3 times, I think.
3 times. We did it 3 times.
I turned the wrong air conditioner off.
So I want to tell you, this is the way most of these, at least the Rockwoods, and I think Forest River probably does this too. If you look, and I'll try to show you real quick here, on the Power Watchdog, again, I've talked about this, I've done a video on it, and this connects via Bluetooth to this disaster behind my chair, which I'll show you here in a second. So that's the readings. You can see here. There's an auto former and the surge protector. Go back and check out that video if you want to try to duplicate it on some level. So if you see here, there's, for 50 amp service, basically you have, you know, lines of service coming in, and there's 2 of them. So I've got 11.9 amps going on this line, and I've got 15.3 amps going on this line. Well, the deal is, one of the air conditioners is on one of the lines, most likely on your coach, if you have a 50 amp coach. Okay, so 2 air conditioners, you get 50 amp service. And on Rockwoods, even with a single air conditioner, they're putting 50 amp service on almost all of their travel trailers and fifth wheels. All right, so let's say you have a single unit from Rockwood. When I mean a single air conditioning unit from Rockwood, it's going to be this one. So you're going to get this one here will be the air conditioner. I got to fix this. There's a little bit of air coming out here, right? The 50 amp service will provide 50 amps to the entire coach, but you're only going to have one air conditioner that's going to utilize part of that 50 amp service, and they put it on one line. Okay, this is what I'm getting at in this whole explanation. On one line. So when we added the second air conditioner in the bedroom, they put that on the same line as the microwave. So that's an auxiliary air conditioner that's in there that's not normally wired in. So when they do wire it in, they have to just take the other line, because one line's used up with this air conditioner, and they have to attach it to another line. Now they could put both air conditioners on one line, but then that would be a problem. If you're running on 30 amps, it would be blowing it all the time, which you're not supposed to, but I get away with that. So here's the deal. Heidi says, I need to run the microwave, and we're on 30 amp service. And I said, okay, fine, just turn off the air conditioner. Well, I've turned it off a few times, and I always turned off the bedroom. I always turned off the bedroom one because I know that's the extra one. That's the one that came in after the fact. That's on the same line as the microwave. Well, Heidi didn't know that, so she turned off this one in here. And when she turned on the microwave, that one line seemed well over 30 amps, and we were on 30 amp service, so it blew. So just be aware that power management is easy to do. Just learn your system. And if you get one of these power watchdogs, again, just click the link that's in our description. It takes you to our store on Amazon, and you can see what we have in here right now that's back there. And yeah, you could do the same thing. So we're just waiting for the rain to subside. Although I almost want to go out and play in it because we haven't seen rain for so long. And yeah, we're gonna run to the store and get some, throw in the freezer type stuff or microwave type things. It'll be nice, we can microwave without shutting anything off. Here we are, not able to find a spot. It's horrible. The campgrounds are overcrowded. I'll be sarcastic about this till you guys see the point. Yeah, so we spent a month in Yuma where it was hot, which we prefer. It's just like somebody showing that they're camping in off-season in the winter and them saying, well, I don't know why everybody says there's no spots. I camp just fine in the winter. Well, it's the same thing. We had plenty of time to do stuff in Yuma. We rode our bikes. I rode my scooter numerous times. We went grocery shopping on our scooter and bikes. We went to restaurants locally. We enjoyed the swimming pool. The hot tub was there. We did our laundry. We sat underneath the awning like we are today. What's the temperature right now?
90.
90. Who in their right mind wants to camp in 90-degree weather? Oh, it's horrible. And the humidity's like 40-some%. And the spots are just sparse. I'll tell you how sparse the spots are and how hard it is to get to this campground. It's so bad that we're after Father's Day and just before 4th of July weekend, and they're advertising with a sign out on the street, RV sites available. This park is really nice. They've got all kinds of amenities here.
These sites are like Yuma.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just as big.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know. I mean, these are actually bigger.
Because they're a little longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're longer. So,
I mean, it might have to do with the park models, because the park models aren't all that long.
right.
But all the park models are nice because they got rooms off.
Yeah.
This is very well kept. This is the best kept park yet.
Yeah.
Yuma was very nice also.
Yeah.
These Encore parks are very nice.
So, here's the thing. We can ride our bikes 3 miles to a state park where there's a huge lake. And we may even do that. We're not doing it today. I think the altitude's got us a little loopy, a little tired.
I don't feel very well.
We're at 6,300 feet, which isn't high, but it's higher than what we've been at.
Weren't we at like 400?
Yeah, we were less than 400, I think, there for a while. So, apparently I need to beat the dead horse till it's pulverized and has been broken down into microorganisms and has now been absorbed by the ground. Because I'm telling you, we could have stayed at the state park. There's sites at the state park. Now, there's not a bank of days that we could go a long time, but they had 4 days in a row and they had 5 days in a row for full hookup 50 amps at the state park. That is just like you think a state park is. So again, just because we showed Yuma as the example, now we're showing you this as the example. And guess what? When we leave here, we're going to go to an RPI park and we'll show you that park as the example. There's plenty of places to go. Just quit being the naysayer. Yes, it's more crowded. Yes, you may not get to your special park in the same site that you were in for the last 20 years and your dad was in for the last 20 years and your grandparents built. So what? Pick a new place. Find a new way to do it.
So anyway, we're going to enjoy our day.
Yeah, I've got to tighten the hitch on the truck. Let me show you. We have that anti-rattle hitch that I showed you that I put on in here. You can see it there. The problem is this top piece here will bend, and it continues to bend until it gets past a certain point, and then it holds solid. So I knew that I would have to retighten it, probably 3 times over the next month and a half of towing. So I've got to get underneath there with a wrench and do so. We also experienced something really crazy, and that was that rain that I showed you. We were really happy about it, and it poured okay. It did pretty good. Washed off a lot of the RV. Didn't wash it as well as I would like it to be washed or rinsed off. But when we woke up to the truck this morning, it was covered. I don't even know how to describe it. It was just covered. It was white flakes, looked like birds had crapped on it. It was just white spotted, the whole thing, and I mean a lot. Not lightly. The whole truck looked worse than just this one little water spot. It was just everywhere. The windows were covered. I had to run the wipers so we could even see out of the windows. And guess what it was? It was ash. It's ash from these fires that they're having out here. Heidi knows. What's the acreage?
Over 24,000 miles. Over 24,000 acres, but 17. What they reported, 17,000 has burned up in 5 days.
And
I'm pretty sure
what's the containment?
0%.
Zero containment.
Isn't it that way?
No, it's this way.
Oh.
It's this way. It's the way the wind's blowing in.
Anyway, the clouds, I guess, because the storm made it look smoky last night when we got here.
Right.
Yesterday afternoon.
Right. I
but
think
we did see smoke when we went into town.
Yeah, if you guys want to see what this setup's like, these were all set up for RV sites. These are traditional RV sites. The sewer's next to where the RV goes in. And hey, hi, that guy with the fifth wheel's coming back.
Oh, really?
Well, his portable water softener and water filter and water hose is out there. Yeah, that could be. We just do our repairs ourselves. Well, I shouldn't say that because I did have the guy to replace the skylight. Somebody pointed out that they thought they seen a broken weld on the axle, and actually they did see a broken weld. The thing is there's square rectangle tube that the axles bolt to, and the crossbars that support them from moving this way laterally, they are welded to that square rectangle. Now the rectangle, of course, running this way has an opening on the end that faces out. So let's say that opening, you're driving down the road and water's splashing up, maybe critters climb up in there. So what they do is they put a cap on that opening and they just weld it in there. That's what was cracked. It's just a superficial plate that they put over the square tube just to close it off. So the answer is yes, there is a weld crack, but it's just for a plate. It's just an end plate that covers it. It really doesn't do anything. So far so good with the wheels. Let me tighten this up so we can sit out here and enjoy ourselves. And we're still going to say the same thing though. Man, these people just drive around in circles in this place. I just seen another car. I don't know if it's because there's that many people or what, but we're going to pull out our scooters and maybe go around the block and check it out and see what it's like.
It's very well paved or / concrete.
Except when you're driving at the speed limit, which the speed limit's 15 miles an hour. 15 miles an hour is just fast. Anyways, it makes a chunk noise. Cha-chunk, cha-chunk, cha-chunk. All these concrete separators. See, that place is for sale over there. Hey, there's a place for sale right over there. I don't know if I'd want to be across the street from all these RVers are coming in and out all the time. I'm one of them. Okay, so we're going to attempt to show you guys what the park looks like, but just a quick overview. Howdy. Howdy. Oh. Do you want to try the entire perimeter? Go all the way down, do a big circle. Well, that's good for me.
Heidi just got down at the laundromat. What'd you think about it?
It was, there's twice as many washers as there is dryers, so I had to wait for a dryer.
Do they have clotheslines here?
No.
The complex. It's like a complex. Every time I think of complex, I think of Waco and David Koresh. Anyways, the complex that everything is at is pretty. This whole park, it is so manicured. So we showed you the little moped ride there, or scooter ride, which was just quick. We just wanted to go through it. I knew the audio was going to be as good as it was, I would have talked a little bit more and pointed out stuff. But I've got bedhead, and the reason I've got bedhead is because I've been trying to get some sleep. So, what's that all about?
Well, he doesn't listen
Yeah,
to doctors
I hate
previously, so now he's paying for. He has to deal with the consequences
Yeah. So I've had GERD
for years.
for years, and it's when my weight exceeds
250.
250. If I get over 250, I start having an issue with it. Now, it doesn't mean that it goes away if I'm under 250, but it just means that I start recognizing and experiencing much stronger effects of it whenever I'm heavier. Obviously, if I'm packing more in here, and you got blowing up going here, it's going to cause a problem. So, first time I was diagnosed with it, I went on a diet, dropped down to about 225 pounds, and quit taking my medication, and felt great. Problem was I put the weight on over the winter and got back up, and if I get above a certain weight, it's really bad. So I've been eating the medication on a pretty consistent basis, but I've got a new twist to everything, and that is I've had, because of the heavier weight, when I get above about 245, I could potentially experience sleep apnea. at night. Obviously,
It comes and goes.
Yeah, it comes and goes. And again, if it depends on how bad the GERD is, also that affects it on some level. And I gasped for breath. Mine was, it's, I do snore a little bit, as Cuddy. Sometimes I don't snore at all, and sometimes I snore pretty good. Whenever I'm sleeping,
He hasn't snored in the last couple of days, so
it
doesn't always go hand in hand.
Well, also it's because I'm not sleeping heavy. Usually I have to sleep pretty heavy for me to be snoring. I'm a pretty light sleeper. I hear everything that's going on. Like, I was trying to get some sleep not that long ago when Heidi, she had run to the laundry there, like we just said, and I started hearing a couple of small light raindrops falling on the RV, and that woke me up immediately. That's just the kind of stuff that keeps that. I mean, it's good for security reasons, but sometimes it's tough for
He's a light
for sleep.
sleeper.
Yeah. So the problem that I had was all this extra weight, maximum weight. This is the highest weight I've ever been at, and it's been like that for a little while. And we're just enjoying ourselves, and I keep on eating and not caring. Since we left Ohio, other than a couple of exceptions, we've pretty much been at sea level. So all through Florida, winter, sea level. Now we came back to Ohio, so there was a couple places above sea level. But then we went down to South Padre Island, of course, sea level. All across Texas, sea level. Then we were in Yuma, Arizona there. Of course, that's sea level for a month. And then we immediately hooked up and hauled butt here, and we're at 6,300 feet. Well, that shallow breathing that I do at night, I am not getting enough oxygen, and my apnea is full blown. I'm not getting any sleep. I mean, maybe 2 hours if I can get just the right position, and that's if I don't eat anything at all that could potentially make my stomach have to process food a little bit more than what it normally would. So, for example, when we had steak, a small steak last night, very small meal, but it had steak in it, and I apparently I couldn't process it very well. So I didn't sleep very good. So the very first night that we were here, it was 3 a.m, and I never do this to Heidi. You can ask her. I woke her up and said, "Hey, is there any chance that you can come out to the living room and sit in the living room with me? I'm going to sit in the chair. I want to sit upright because," I said, "I can't catch my breath. I can't get a full breath. You know how you can do a big, full cleansing breath? I couldn't do it. It just wouldn't happen." And I was like panting. It was like I was working or I was doing something, and I couldn't handle it. Now, my heart rate didn't feel like it was thumping or anything like that, but, that's a sign of heart problems potentially. So we went to the emergency room, and we spent 6 hours in the emergency room. They did every test under the sun. And basically they said that as far as my heart's concerned, no issues whatsoever. As far as oxygen's concerned, he said that my lungs my blood was showing 90%. He said, which is a lot more than most people in this area. Again, we're at 6,300 feet. He said, so, my blood's being oxygenated. My lungs are, for the most part, getting the air that it needs. But for me,
he said from 1 to 4, 4 being the worst, and you are 1.
Yeah. He said, he goes, everything come back. He goes, you don't even need to take a stress test. He goes, it's not even needed. He goes, because everything about your heart is fine. Everything. So it's not that. He goes, now that's just testing today, here, right now, in this situation, in these circumstances. He says, it's probably best to follow up with a cardiologist just because of my age, and it was a shortness of breath issue. However, he was kind of concerned also. He said, GI, to get GI work done. Now, we had to go to a private, Summit Health Care, I think it was called. I mean, that place is good. So if you're in Sholo, Arizona, their care is top notch right there. I've never been treated so well in an emergency room ever. Never so thorough. I've never had three to 5 people working in the room on me at once. I've never experienced that. Usually the waiting room, you wait for so long, and then you sit in the room for so long. And anyways, top notch.
Even though we were there for 6 hours, there was a reason, because they wanted to recheck his heart,
Yeah.
and that it's like 4 hours in between time. So they did that, but they were always doing something.
Yeah, right. So basically, came back here, had that meal last night, like I said, and it was a very small meal, but I didn't sleep at all. I couldn't. When I sleep, I'm exaggerating to some extent. I think I did get maybe 2 to 3 hours straight that I got sleep. Other than that, it's just waking up. As soon as you know, when you're falling asleep and you just start having a dream, that's whenever I could take like 4 breaths to get myself caught back up again. So, obviously, and everybody's, I'm sure, already typing on your phones and keyboards. Yeah, it's the diet thing. I have to go on a diet. I have to go on a diet. I can't be this weight, and I know it. Now, we're going to be leaving here tomorrow morning. So tonight I got to kind of do 2 things. We got to get everything ready to go. That's why I'm doing this video now. Hopefully I can get this uploaded.
So if we don't post a video for the next week or so, you'll know why.
Well, the area that we're going to next, I don't know what they're
but
like.
You don't know what you're going to be going through.
Yeah.
I will do some videos of the park and things like that. I will update on Instagram. I will update on Patreon, Instagram, and Facebook as needed.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird thing. And the thing is this is all under my control. That's the worst part about it. It's not like something that, oh my God, well, I shouldn't say that because we don't know. I haven't got all the testing that's needed done yet. Good news is the next location that we're going to is about 20 miles from what I can tell from the VA hospital in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So that makes things a lot easier as far as getting work done. I just, I go in and get whatever needed done if I have an emergency like I did here. The bad news is they have to do a sleep study, which is basically like a night of them testing me and my sleep pattern. So most likely they can hook me up with a CPAP machine. Now, I need to get that in case my diet doesn't work and I still have apnea, which I don't know. Now, I want you to also know that this sleep apnea thing that I experience is just, for right now, just been the last couple nights. I don't fall asleep in the chair. I don't nod off when people are talking to me. If I'm playing a movie, I watch the whole movie or I turn it off and go to bed if it's time for bed.
But a lot of people have exactly what you have.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah, I don't have the sleep apnea where you hear about people driving down the road and just nodding off, I don't have it that way. It's not to that point.
It needs to be addressed.
And as far as the GERD, they need to do an upper GI and see what's actually going on in there. I don't know when that will happen, but I wanted to close out this video. Now, I'm going to tell you that, like I mentioned earlier in this video, when we first got to the park here the other day, there's plenty of sites here. There's quite a few sites, and there's there's another park that's not that far away. They've got available sites. This is a very nice area. The drivers are more aggressive here for sure, and it has to do with the traffic, the way it goes through here. There's not very many. There's just like a couple of main roads, and you could see that people are just pulling out in front of you because they need to get out and cutting across. But
there's probably a lot of people from out of town also.
Right.
I met somebody at the laundry that was at Hebert, and they closed the Hebert Park. He was going to stay there for the season. So he said, of course, he was staying for the season, so he's got all his stuff out for the season. Him and the neighbor guy, and they closed the park. And they have ready, set, go. If you're in the fire area, wildfire areas, ready, set, go. So they were on ready, and they were waiting for set. And within a short time, it went from ready to go. They had to get out. So luckily, there's openings here that he said that they were more than happy to have him here, but he had to pack all his stuff up.
Yeah, the parks they're reasonable. I mean, this one's Encore.
Yeah.
Now, the next one we're going to is a whole bunch of things. It's a Good Sam's. It's a AAA. It's a Passport America. It's an RPI. It's a Coast to Coast. It's something else. And they have reduced rates for all of those. We're going to use RPI for the first 4 days or so. And
Might be able to extend.
we might be able to extend the RPI part of it. And then at that point, we could just pay. Give you an idea, it's $4.25 for the whole month. You know, if you just walk in off the street with no discounts, it's $4.25 a month plus electricity. And it's at elevation too. Unfortunately, it's at 6,300 feet. But it's only about 19, like I say, I think it's 19 miles from the VA hospital in Albuquerque. So it's a 20-some minute drive. And it looks like easy driving, which is kind of nice. It's not through the city necessarily. It's in the city, but not through the city. So I want you guys, again, I'm going to reiterate this because there's so many channels out there that are continuously saying there's no place to stay and all the parks are overcrowded and that.
There's a lot of places, or a lot of openings here.
Yeah, and this is a great area. This is a super area. We were supposed to, until all this started with me, we're supposed to take our scooters and we were going to ride, it's 3 miles? Yeah, 3.5 miles to they call it Full Hollow, Fool, Hollow Lake, I believe. It's Full Hollow Lake. And it looked like a really nice lake. There's a campground there. Of course, there's campsites there also. Then we were going to go to Dairy Queen up into town and ride back. And the whole trip was only going to be like 8 miles round trip. And you could do it all. It's on scooters and cart paths the whole way. Good restaurants. We did take the advice of... Who told us to go to that restaurant?
Mary.
Mary did. That's right. Lacanos, Mexican.
That's pretty good.
The ambiance in there is very nice. It makes you it seems classy. It seems very classy in there.
It's a steakhouse also.
Yes, and it's pleasant. It was a very pleasant meal. It was good food. I love the hard, crispy tortilla shells of the tacos.
Crunchy tacos.
They actually take soft shells and fry them hard, or
Kind of like the food truck.
toast them hard. Anyways, it's really good food. They're rated very high, but there's other restaurants throughout that were rated really high too. So I was really happy with. I was happy with that.
Well, our eating out days are over for.
Well,
Kinda.
I'm sure we'll sneak a meal in here and there, but that'll be our cheat day. We did that in the we definitely got to follow the diet. So that's what we're doing right now. We're gonna close this out. I'm gonna try to get this video uploaded. We're enjoying ourselves, even though we had to experience that other stuff. It's still I enjoy myself. It's nice. I just rather have some sleep so I could have more energy to do this. And with that, we're gonna close this one out.
As always, we hope to see you out here. Bye.
Bye.